Welcome everybody to ANIME-NIACS. I am your host, DJ K-Red, and my co-host,
K.
What's going on? We are just two blerds who love anime. I've been watching anime since I was probably like 4 years old. And I'm 26 now, about to be 27. So, like over 20 years of anime experience.
Cool. And I started watching anime when it was on Toonami, like everybody else. And I kind of got out of it for a while, but in the recent years, I've gotten back into it very hard. So I like where my path is taking me, where my journey's going, what I've seen so far.
Right, definitely. Like I'm the same. Yeah, I did have a big break probably when I was from like the time I was a kid to like through high school to probably like college where I got back into anime. So completely understand that.
I think it's also been made easier because we have streaming. So it's not like you have to try to find it anywhere. You can just watch it.
Exactly. Like I think that was a big thing. I was just about to say that like all the pirate sites and stuff like that really got me back into anime because it was just there and free. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I was like, after a point, you have to make sure that you support the actual official release. So, have to make sure you actually pay for streaming sites.
Right.
So we're gonna first talk about our favorite animes. Just to let you as the listener get to know us and kind of what we're about and who we are. My favorite anime personally is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I think it is a true classic and there's not much you can really poke at it being wrong, especially from, what it took from the original Full Metal Alchemist. But I honestly love it because even from the first episode, like the first villain is actually a hero. And he's the only person actually trying to save the city from Father's plan.
I have never finished Full Metal Alchemist.
Really?
I need to. Yes, really. I'd never have.
It's so good. Like, just the growth of the characters, the story and how it pulls you in, makes you really care about them. And everyone knows the one scene that, breaks every anime fan's heart with Edward, Big Brother Edward.
No. I can hear the sadness in your voice.
Yeah. I don't know if you got to that part, so I'm not going to ruin it for you, but it's pretty sad.
No.
Just remember this, dad of the freaking year.
Oh, gotta love a good dad.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can't really talk too much about it without, spoiling things, but it's just the growth of Ed as a kid, as a character is what really drives me into loving the show and how much he sacrifices to find, a solution for his brother. And I can't go into more detail, but Kay, what's your favorite anime?
My favorite anime is Fruits Baskets. And hear me out. Okay, so not only was it the first anime that got me back into anime, but also it helped me realize how much I loved slice of life anime, which is something I had never really watched before.
True.
But also just the characters are so compelling. My favorite is Kyo. I feel like everybody would agree with me, and I know but he's just so magnificent. I don't want to go into too much of it just yet because I know you still need to rewatch it.
Yeah, I think I need to. Yeah, I need to finish that, so that'll be a good show for us to have for the podcast. And it's I have to rewatch Fruits Baskets. Yeah, finish Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
And also, this is you're warning people if you have not watched Fruits Basket yet. you need to watch it because when we talk about it, I'm going into detail. I love that show. I love all the characters. I love the story. I love how it reveals I'm not going to go into too much of it. I just love that show.
No, go into it. Like, this is your spoiler warning. So if you haven't seen Fruits Baskets, skip a little bit ahead, because I'm about to let her just go loose on it. So why do you love Fruits Baskets?
I love Fruits Baskets because, okay, so like, it's about the Soma family and how they are all a part of the Zodiac, or they all are the Zodiacs. And they can't, if you touch another person of the opposite sex, then you turn into that Zodiac or whatever.
Which is a weird thing.
But like, I know, it's so cute though. But
yeah,
the thing that I love the most about it is it really focuses on like the family and how absolutely like, I can't even think of the word right now, dysfunctional it is. Like, there's so many secrets and like there are things that they just don't talk about. And like, you can tell that people are hurting, but like, they're still a family. They're still like working through these problems, these traumatic events that happen. And I feel like whenever you watch it, you can find one person that you really relate to. And like, you can see how they grow and how they get through these things. And I feel like it gives you hope, if
definitely.
you are dealing with those kind of things.
I think was Kay the mouse guy?
Yuki.
Yuki Loki. I think I was the one that I was feeling the most when I was getting into it. Because
exactly.
I thought Fruits Basket was a decent show. I just definitely need to finish it.
Exactly. And like, also, I'm a hopeless romantic at heart. And to just see the love between Kyo and Toru, because Toru is so freaking sweet. And Kyo is just so in love with her. And he's such a good guy, even though everybody pretty much hates him.
Yeah.
Up to a certain point in time. Like, well, I say that, but never mind. Anyway. And to just see how they grow and how they get closer together and how they really are like the opposite, but like they fit perfect together, like puzzle pieces. It's amazing.
See, that's the cuteness that you look for
Yeah.
and kind of like want for yourself, but it's anime. But
I know. But if he were real,
yeah. But if it were real,
I'd be Mrs. Kyo. Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah, that was such a cute show. I love that. And that's the thing. I know they made it like a remake. And I thought the remake was. I think that's what I was watching, and I thought it was real cute. And I liked the animation. It was really beautiful.
Oh yeah, and no, the newer one is. I like the older one. Don't get me wrong, but the newer one I feel like is way more dramatized. Like, so it's more interesting to me. Other people might disagree, but that's how I feel about it. But even with the show itself, I'm going on a tangent here. Even with like that's the show itself in its entirety, there's still so many questions that I have, so many things I want to know. Like, and I feel like a lot of them are going to be answered on the prelude that's coming out. Because there's going to be a prelude movie that's based on her parents, Tori's parents, her mom and her dad. Yes. And it's going to be great, and I'm going to cry, and I'm going to love it.
I have to check that out after I watch Fruits Baskets.
Yes, you do.
I guess that would lead into our second question of the show. Mm-hmm. What makes an anime good? Like, for me? Like for you, what makes an anime like actually like good? Like, because an anime doesn't have to always be like the hero doesn't have to be the strongest. There doesn't always have to be action. There doesn't always have to be like a sappy love story. But what makes an anime good?
For me, the number one thing that if I'm looking for an anime to watch, the thing I always look at first, and I can't help it, is the animation, like the style of it. Because there
Yeah.
are some shows, like I just recently started watching Death Note because for a long time I didn't like the animation. I didn't like
But
the way it looked,
I
so
don't
I wouldn't watch
understand
it.
that though. The animation I like for the show.
See,
It's
I didn't. I felt like, well, first off, Ryuk, just his character design, it was off putting to me at first, which I watched it, so I know what it's like now. But for a longest time, that's why I wouldn't watch it, was because the animation.
I loved the way Ryuk looked. Like he was one of my favorite characters. That's why I was just so heartbroken to hear that you feel this way about the animation. But there were certain parts that I kind of was a little iffy on. But it was like a earlier, like early 2000s or I think 90s anime or late 90s anime. So like I give the animation a little slack.
That's a fair point, and that's ultimately why I decided to watch it. Well, one, because everybody loves that show apparently, and then also because
Yeah,
I was like, it's been long enough. I think I could watch it and get through it. And plus,
yeah,
I've been told that the story is great, which it is. So I'm glad I did
it's
stomach through that to get
amazing.
to it.
Yeah, that's I was like, it holds a special place in my 13-year-old little emo heart.
Mhm.
But
I can understand why.
yeah, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I think for me it was like the first show that I saw that I wasn't like rooting for the hero to like achieve his dream. It was more I was like, when are you going to get caught?
Exactly. Well, for me, I kept thinking, when are you gonna die?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
haven't
that's
finished it yet, so I don't know how it's gonna end. But I'm like, when is this guy gonna die?
because you know it's going to happen, but you're just like, when? Like, how long are you going to get away with this, and how many people are you going to kill before this ends?
Exactly. So anyway, with that, what do you think makes a great anime?
um, Multiple things. For me, it's like one, the intro. Like for like I understand like manga doesn't have an intro, but um, the cover panel is in itself is like an introduction into the story. So that counts for something. But also for me, it's like if you don't have a entertaining intro, it's a little hard for me to get into the show. It like depending on what it is. Because I have gotten into some shows that I was like, the intro is a little mid, but at the same time, it's a great show. But from that point, I would be like, from there, like number two would be storyline. Like it has to have a compelling storyline, something that I actually care about, whether because it's like you can do demons and vampires and ghouls and everything else, 6 ways from Sunday. But if you don't have a compelling storyline with it, like, why am I going to care about it versus like the millions of other times it's been done before?
True. True.
Yeah, and then like character growth, like you have to pace your character growth because power-ups ruin series. That's kind of what killed Dragon Ball for me. Because it was like, when I was young and first like getting into anime, like in Dragon Ball was the shit. But it's just like as time went on, it's just like, where do you go from here? Like, are we just gonna be on Super Saiyan 11 eventually? But I understand Super Saiyan God, and then like I guess Vegeta just got a new form in the manga, but it's like, come on, there has to be, I don't know, a limit where like literally they got so strong to the point they destroyed a whole universe. Right? And they just had to call in, the god of all universes to with the Ex Machina button and erase everything because he had become too strong.
I see what you're saying.
That's just my thing. Where it's like I'm not saying Dragon Ball Z is bad. I love Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z Super, I'm debatable on. That's a whole separate thing. I feel like it was just to give fans what they wanted as far as like getting to see another Dragon Ball Z series with like new animation.
That's an interesting perspective.
I mean, how do you feel? Like, I mean, we can talk about it for a second. Like how did you feel about Dragon Ball Z Super?
No, I agree with you. I just thought it was an interesting perspective.
Okay, I thought, well, because that's my thing is like, it's just the way that they use the Dragon Balls and just have them on hand now, and then the Super Dragon Balls. It's really like, why am I supposed to care about anything that's happening? Because you're just going to wish it all away at the end.
It's true. It's very, very true. I wish I had that in life.
Yeah. Like, I'd love to have a nice little set of Dragon Balls on hand. Just be like, can I take back the last week? Like, keep my memories, but just get rid of last week so I can have a fresh start.
There's also something else I feel like you need to add. Like, there has to be there for me to enjoy an anime.
What's that?
An attractive and or relatable character. Because if you don't have at least one, to me specifically, then I'm not going to care and I'm not going to watch it.
I cannot disagree with you there. Like there does have to be someone I simp for.
Exactly, because that's the best part. Not the best part, but it's one of the best parts.
So it's like, go on, just admit it. That's the best part for you is getting you to simp. It's all right. We simp for the best. But that's the thing. Actually, I'll come back around to like my favorite anime question, where like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I would have to say is like my favorite like finished anime. As far as like something that's not finished but is still like my favorite, like as far as like my favorite anime of all time, would be One Piece. I'm a big One Piece stan. I would die for that show. That is like, if anyone argues with me on why that show isn't that good, that's where I choose to have my hill to die on. And that's the thing. One Piece fans, I feel like, are the most chill of all fans, like fan bases, because we know patience. And you know, if somebody doesn't want to watch the show, we're like, all right, because we know eventually you're gonna watch it. Like it's going to eventually nag at you and irk at you, and we're not gonna have to say anything. It's gonna eventually make its way into your, queue, and just give it time. You'll fall in love with it.
Not me. I hate One Piece.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just kidding. I freaking love One Piece.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, One Piece, in my opinion, is literally the greatest story ever told. Like
being told.
Being told. But and it's really just that, like, for me, but One Piece is what I would classify as like a great anime because of the layers of foreshadowing, the world building. You make us care about your characters. There's always someone to simp for, but at the same time, you give us like compelling stories that really draw us in and make us believe and dream and hope. And
Exactly.
it's like for it being a shonen, that's what you're supposed to do. You hit all marks. Bravo can't say anything more. Any more points on what would be a good anime?
No, I think that pretty much covers it. I kind of disagree with you about the intro, but that's about it.
Wait, where do you disagree with me? Because I think having a good intro is core.
In my mind, I agree with you about like the like if you're going on like Funimation or whatever, the thumbnail, because that always attracts me to whether I'm going to watch something or not. But like I always think of the intro of a show as an entirely separate thing, or of anime at least. I'll say of anime, because like I can watch an intro and be like, oh, that was garbage, and still love the show, or I could be like, oh, this is an amazing intro and not like the show. Not that I've really found one that I hate. Well, no,
I
yes,
mean, I found one. I
I
found
was
one
gonna
recently.
I hate to say that I hate a show, but yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's real hard, like you said, to find a show like that. But like, yeah, that's the thing. I do agree with you there, where it's like I have found shows that have bad intros, but is it still a great show? I just skip the intro all the time.
Yeah. Oh, One Piece has had a few bad ones, but I still love them.
yeah, can't deny that. Some intros I've just been like, for the time period, that this season was coming out, it was probably good because that was what was hip back then. But now I don't like it.
Oh, I know, right? And the only other thing I hate about intros is they give away too much dang information. Because you know me, I'm the kind of person that I want to go into something knowing nothing. I want to see it for what it is in the time that I'm supposed to see it. And when I watch an intro that gives me information, I'm like, dang it. Because sometimes I can just
you start
putting
putting stuff together, you start piecing it together, and it's like, damn.
Right. And I'm like,
now I know how the season's
gonna
play out. Yeah. So our third question for the show is, what's a recent anime that you watched? Well, you took the last question, so I'll go first. For me, recently, I think the newest thing I have watched has been JoJo, and that's what we'll be talking about later in our second episode. But I'll save my take for that. Like, I'll just say that besides that, I've watched recent episodes of One Piece, and I caught up to episode 1000. It was amazing. Tore at my heartstrings and just made all the nostalgic tears come out. But yeah.
Besides JoJo, have you watched? Because obviously we both have watched JoJo recently. Have you watched any other new anime recently?
Not like I've started the new season of Demon Slayer, which I would have to say is pretty fire. Like, I don't know why anyone would say different. Like, obviously they have to pace it. Like, nothing crazy has happened yet. Like, too much. Like, obviously there's been good stuff to pull you in, but it's taking its time, and I like it.
Awesome. So
how about you?
Recently JoJo. And I have my own opinions about that as well. I've also started watching Death Note. Since, we've talked about that a little bit in this episode already. And I freaking love that show. I hate that I took so long to watch it because I love it. I love to hate light. I've also started watching Demon Slayer. I'm still on the first season. I haven't finished it quite yet. And I'm already in love with it. Just from what I've seen. I think I'm 8 or 9 episodes in, and I love it. Love everything about it. And that intro is one of the best intros I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It has one of the best songs.
Oh, man. I love the intro for Demon Slayer. Especially, like, the first season was, like, a true classic. It gets you in. It draws you in with, like, all the color. I listen to it at work.
Exactly. Oh, I also watched Way of the House Husband. Which was freaking hilarious. I love that show. I'll just turn it on just because I'm just
now you see why I cosplayed him.
Yes, I totally understand. He is the funniest, creepiest dude I've ever seen.
Yes. But he loves his wife so much.
Crazy as he is.
Exactly. That's why they're meant for each other.
Man, I was watching one episode and she clotheslined him out a window. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that.
I love in the first season where he's doing like the yoga and he's this is how you take a beating from the boss, or like, yeah. This is what looks like when you're stuffing a guy in a trunk. And it's like, oh my god, like, Hey, I don't think any of these ladies were thinking that. I think maybe they're just thinking dog, the downward dog and rising sun. But you do you, buddy.
The instructor had to be like, you can stop saying stuff now.
Yeah.
What else have I watched recently? I feel like I've watched a lot of stuff. Those are the top ones that come to my head right now. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, how could I forget? Oh, my God. I watched Beyond the Boundary, and I love that anime. Love it so much.
So, like you've told me about this, and refresh my memory. Like, what is this show about?
This show is about, it's set around two characters, right?
Right.
One of them, I forget his name. I just know she calls him Senpai, and that always sticks in my head. I cannot remember his name for the life of me. But he's one of the main characters. And I don't want to... Okay, spoilers. So if you don't want to hear anything about it, don't listen to this part. He's a Yamu, right? And she is a spirit warrior who hunts Yamu, right? But she's special because she's part of this cursed blood clan. And she's the last one. So she can like wield her blood as like a weapon.
Okay, cool.
And it's about...
I always love blood control.
Yeah. And it's about them and like their weird relationship with each other.
Right.
And like some events that are going on around their community.
Yeah, see, that's dope. Well, I'll have to do an episode around that. Because I have to still watch that.
Yeah, and it's super fast to get through because there's only one full season that they also turned into a movie, so you can watch it that way if you want to. And I think it's like 12 episodes, and then there's a second movie.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so it'll be all compact.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I think the only other thing really new I've watched too might have been Tokyo Revengers. It's a slow burn, but it gets you there. And I normally don't go for shows where I'm like, I hate the main character. I can't stand the main character. But like Tokyo Ghoul does it in a way where I'm like, I'm so entranced with the side characters like Draken and Mikey that I just love the show.
I am so mad at myself because we were watching that together.
Yeah.
And then I just forgot. And it's not because it's a bad show, because I really liked what I saw. I don't know. I just stopped watching it.
I understand. It's all right. One Piece took over.
Yeah, true. My ADHD brain wouldn't allow me to finish one thing, apparently.
It's all right. I still haven't finished the season, so I will wait for that, and we'll probably do an episode around sections of that too.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, we're going to be covering a lot.
Oh yeah. Can they? Is there a way that our listeners can recommend anime that we should watch and review?
Yeah, I was going to cover it at the end of the show, but at the end of the episode. But
this was a perfect time to fill it, though.
Yeah. If anyone would like to suggest anime to us, I have a Twitter, DJKRed95, that you can tweet me at, and also on Instagram. We're probably going to be making an official page as time goes on, as we see how the podcast does and whose attention it draws. But for the time being, those are the main ways that you can reach us. Unless, Kay, do you have a social that you would like to share with everybody?
I do not. I'm an enigma.
Well, we'll have to make a some social for Kay the Enigma, so all her new fans can reach her.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, we would love suggestions. I think we're also probably going to cover a little bit more of the anime too as time goes on, depending on what gets suggested and what people want to hear and see. But we are really just excited to get the podcast started and to share our reviews and opinions of anime. Because it's not like we're like, I guess, authority or anyone, I guess.
Sure, we are. Our opinion are the only ones that matter.
You
No, I'm
see,
just kidding. I'm just
exactly.
kidding.
No. Like, see, we're gonna get hyped up to the point that we're gonna be the #1 anime podcast, and our opinions will be law.
Oh yeah, give me that power like light.
See, like, if I had a Death Note, I probably wouldn't use it except for like monetary gain. And I know that sounds like simple, but I would want to like just work my way up to like low key, like, I don't know, president of the world just through fear.
No, fuck that. I'm killing random people just because.
See, it's so worrisome that you have that fear, just that you just come out with that.
Well,
like, I have to kind of come up with
look,
something, and you just have this plan already to divulge at any time that I'm just gonna be taking out random.
Only because I'm looking at it from the perspective of like Light when he first tested out, just because he was like, "Oh, this ain't gonna work," and then it worked, and then he was like, "Oh, well, I need to test it again because surely this is a coincidence." Then he tried it again, right? And then he found out, well, if you use the notebook, the Death Note, then you can't go to heaven or hell. So it's like, well, in for a penny. Might as well do whatever I want to do.
But what does that say about your character in the first place that you would even use, that you even tested out, even though you thought it was fake? Like, the fact that you would try it. It's like those people who believe in chain mail messages, where it's like, even if they're fake, like, I still gotta send it because what if? Like, so it's like you're superstitious. You can't claim not to be superstitious. So you're a little bit of a murderer. That's all I'm trying to say.
Well, first off, the only chainmail that I ever really cared about was the ones where if you didn't send it, something would happen to the last person. And I would intentionally not do anything just to see if something happened. Because it's interesting, right?
What's interesting?
Yeah, it's interesting.
No, it's oh no, wow.
I'll take that back. The only other ones that I used to care about or like whatever was the ones where it was like, if you believe in Jesus, you need to pass this on. And I'd be like, oh, I do believe in Jesus. I need to pass this on. Just in case he's watching.
I might have missed a few of those.
It's quite all right. They're not real anyway. Or at least we think.
Yeah.
Probably a Death Note out there somewhere and we just don't realize it.
I mean, probably. Yeah, there's a lot of things the government probably keeps from us.
Mm-hmm.
Like 100 years of the future. I mean, 100 years of the past.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you mean like the whole missing however long it was from One Piece?
Yeah, see, I'm so happy that you get that reference now. You've just gotten to the whole Innie's lobby like thing. It's so like what true? Yeah, I know you like were joking, say you like One Piece and you said you love it, but what do you really love about One Piece? Just a little bit of blurb since we're just chatting a little bit.
Zora and Ace. I'm just kidding. There's more about it I like than that. Those are two of my favorite characters, though, in case anybody was wondering. I love how, there's plenty of shonen, right? Where, like, there's a powerful person, right? A powerful kid most of the time. And, like, they meet these obstacles and they overcome these obstacles. That's just like how a shonen is, right?
Yeah.
Except for, like you said, at some point, they just become, like, overpowered. Not overpowered. I don't want to say overpowered, but, like, they become less realistic to me because they are so powerful. Like, there's no struggle because I can't lose myself, in the moment. I can't, what is the phrase? Disband disbelief or something like that.
That's the thing is, like, I'm not trying to just harp on Goku, but yeah, that's the thing is, like, when
I feel the same way about Naruto too. I feel the same way about most of those shonen.
Yeah.
But with One Piece, I feel like, first off, he has a devil fruit, right? But he doesn't even have the most powerful kind of devil fruit. Exactly. And what makes him so strong is his will and like going towards his dream.
Yeah,
Which isn't to
that's
be like
really
the
what
most
makes it.
powerful person in the world. It's not to be the strongest person in the world. It's not to, he wants to be king of the pirates, right? Simple.
Very true. Yeah, he says it many times.
He says it like, I don't want to say every episode, but most
No.
episodes he says it.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's just like it's like having a mantra or, like a with affirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you say your affirmation every day, it'll come true eventually.
I also love how, and I don't know if everybody feels the same way I feel, but this is how I feel about it. Like, you'll go through a whole arc, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you first get there, arrive to whatever destination they're going to, because most likely the beginning of the arc, they're going somewhere or doing something, right?
Yeah.
And it's like this whole new place, and you don't know much about it, and they don't know much
See, that's
about
the thing.
it.
I love the world building. You get to like experience a new place.
Exactly. And it's the world building because, like, I don't want to go too much into detail because I'm sure we will later, but like, so they'll go into a place and then, there will be the objective or whatever they're trying to do because there's a reason why they're there at that point, or they found something to do while they're there. And while you're going through, you're not only seeing all these different locations in this place, but you're also meeting all these different characters.
Yeah.
And like, you can see how the characters change ever so slightly throughout this whole thing, right?
Exactly.
But then that's not even the craziest part. The craziest part, the thing that I love the most, is by the time it goes to the second arc, it's like a whole new thing. You still remember the last one. You still remember everything that happened before, but it's like all brand new. And this is all I'm focusing on right now.
Yes. See, that's the magic of One Piece, where it's like every like arc is just like opening up a whole new world for you to step into, and you're like, oh yeah, like all this stuff happened. It was cool, and like I remember it, but ooh, new and shiny.
Exactly. And it's like a whole new piece of the map because when you first start, all you hear about is the Grand Line, right? And you hear it's crazy. And like you expect that. But like the things that you see is not anything that you would have thought you would see. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It throws you for a loop, or you're just like, oh, it'll be crazy. But then you're like, oh wow, this is crazy.
For me, it makes it feel more like you can put yourself there than most shows I've seen. And I think that's what I love most about it, is that it's very one person, even though you're watching these people, but you're experiencing it at the same time they are. So it feels like you're first person.
Very much so. It definitely immerses you in the feeling that it's a place you could find.
Exactly. But to be fair, I'm going to be
and it's relatable enough to like the real world that you, like you said, that you can like stick with it, that you can actually like feel something for it.
Right. And I'm going to play devil's advocate and be completely honest. I am saying this being at like 299 episodes in. There's 1,005 episodes, 6 episodes.
Yep.
So like, I'm kind of early on to say all of that because, like, to be fair, Dragon Ball, even though it is still going, like, I've seen a lot of it. And then like Naruto, I didn't even finish Naruto. So
yeah, well, probably have to put that on the list too, because I'm sure somebody will give us flack about that if you don't finish it. Because I haven't even started.
I have restarted it like 6 times. I get to the same part, the same point, and then I get distracted or sidetracked, or I start watching something else and completely forget about it and forget what happened. So I have to go back and watch it all over again.
What part?
I don't know. I keep forgetting. But I know it's the same part every time.
Do you at least get to Shippuden?
I think that's when I stop.
Sorry.
I'll make myself watch it.
Like,
I just can't get into it like One Piece. I'm sorry.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, is I like Shippuden. It's just the ending felt real fan servicey to the point that it kind of ruined the story for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna ruin the end of the show, but I was just a little upset about where they chose to stop. Like I get that there's a Boruto movie, and then there's Boruto. I just wish Naruto would have ended at Shippuden, and that had been it. Maybe one day I will, for the sake of for the show. Maybe I may watch Boruto, but yeah, it's on the back burner for now.
That's cool. I'm down with that.
Who's your so who is your favorite anime character?
Kyo or Ace.
What makes them your favorite?
For Kyo, I feel like he had such a hard heart, a guarded heart in the beginning because he was not exiled, but he was not fully a part of the Soma family because of the superstitions around the zodiacs and stuff. Plus they were all bonded together, so like whatever Akito said is like kind of what they had to do. But you can see through the show where he was like trying to prove himself so much in the beginning that Toru had, because she had showed him so much kindness and love that he did not expect, because he really felt like he didn't deserve it because of things that happened to him when he was younger, that he changed. And like, it just shows me that no matter what circumstance you're in, no matter what you're going through, that like you can overcome it. And I know it's a little hard to say because he had Toru in his life and all that, but it gives me hope, you know. Plus, on the other side, he's just so hot, and he just loves Toru so much. Like there's this one scene where she's standing in the hallway, and you know she's kind of oblivious to some stuff. She's just so sweet, and these guys are talking about her, and they're talking about going to hit on her. And Kyo overhears it. So he like shows up and like slams his arm into the wall and is like hovering over her to like ward them away, because he was like, you are not gonna come talk to this precious thing right here.
Oh,
I know. It was amazing. I love that. And like there's this other time when they go on this like field trip or whatever, and there's this other girl that's into him. And she like tries to grab his arm, and he like slings away. But then, like the very next scene, when Toru goes and grabs his arm, he's just like, "Okay with it, it's fine." And like he doesn't like when people call him Kyon Kyon at school, but he says that like it's okay when she says it. He's like a badass with a heart of gold.
He's a little pony boy. That's cute.
I could talk about it forever.
And why is Ace your favorite?
Also because he's hot and because he's so freaking strong. His devil fruit power is spectacular. That, and he's like Luffy, but
Ace does have one of my favorite devil fruits.
Yes, but he's like older, so he's more like courteous and like respectful. Whereas like I was just watching this one part, and there's this, I don't want to say any spoilers or whatever, but there's this one character who's this like old lady who drinks a lot, and she like looks kind of funny, and he calls her Monster Granny all the time, and I'm like, that's kind of rude. I know you don't mean it that way, but it's rude. Yeah,
Luffy does.
But Ace is not like that at all.
Exactly. He's definitely what would be the word? I guess the kids say these days, Chad.
Yeah,
definitely. But for me, I think my favorite character in anime would honestly, I think it would have to be Law.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. There's some close seconds, like Guts from Berserk. Probably I would have to say Lupin. Also Howl from Howl's Moving Castle, like, as a favorite. But
I do like the Baron from The Cat Returns.
Oh yeah, that's such a good movie.
It really is.
Yeah. But yeah, Law is my favorite. Just like I know you haven't gotten there, so I'll try to leave this as spoiler free as possible. But just from his introduction, as a character, he was badass. Um, from that point on, his whole like involvement with the story, just it fits so well. Like in retrospect to like Oda like saying like when he came up with the character and everything. Um, and then just from the point that he, is hanging around the Straw Hats, um, it's just a fun time because he's just this real serious character around these group of goofs. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you feel bad for him because you're just like, oh, you just want plans to go right. You just want people to be professionals, but at the same time, you don't understand who you're dealing with. And once you do, maybe things will go a little bit smoother for you. But till that time, you're just gonna suffer. Uh, but he also has an amazing backstory. Um, like I feel like Law's backstory is a little bit underrated. Like I know Robin is like number one for a lot of people, but I would honestly I would put like hers at like number two, or maybe even three, depending like between like Law and another character that Kay doesn't know about, so I'm not gonna say it right now. But Law for me has like one of the best backstories. It's sad, but it's really sweet. I can't say go too much into detail about it, but it's the journey that he goes on, how it ends with what was given for him and given to him, and it's real beautiful story for me. I was like, oh, you didn't have to do that, but at the same time, you've made me really care about this character and love them even more than I already did, just because they were, a cool, edgy looking person.
It's a fair point. That was really good summarization.
Thank you. But I think that's where we will actually cut this episode. If you guys do want to suggest anime for us to watch in the future for future episodes, if you'd like to, just comment what you think of the episode and let us know, that you like more episodes or what you think of our voices and our personalities. Comment at DJKRed95 on Twitter. You can also DM me on Instagram. Pretty much all my socials are DJKRed95. K will, I guess, at some point have a inbox or social for her to receive comments and messages of that nature. But for first episode, I think we did pretty good.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
Any final words?
A lot of people feel like they aren't included in the anime community because they're just starting. When my experience is that, unless they're like gatekeepers, that most people are very accepting and welcoming. Even if you're just starting, even if they've seen it 1,000 times, they will still be just as excited with you when you talk about the things that happened in the show. So don't let that put you off in being a part of the community as a whole.
Yeah, definitely. We don't accept gatekeepers here. Everyone is welcome to like or dislike anime for their own reasons. We just talk about it and we have our honest opinions, and think we have good heads on our shoulders where we can discern kind of what's good from the bad. But it's all left up to opinion at the end of the day, and everybody's opinion is their own. I won't judge anybody for watching whatever show they want to watch, but
oh no, we watch Redo of a Healer. I'm not judging anybody.
Oh, we're not going to talk about that right now. This do we have rating? I don't think we're allowed to talk about
no,
things
we're not.
Redo of a Healer's nature.
We are not.
Oh God, it's terrible. But it's not a terrible show, but it's just
It's a lot.
terrible. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. That's all we can say for now.
Do you have any closing words?
I would just like to thank whoever's listening right now. I appreciate you tapping on the episode and popping in to listen, making it this far. I hope people will continue to listen, and I hope you all enjoyed.
Very well said.
Okay, this is K-Red and
Kay.
Signing off and wishing you a great day.
Bye.